Say their daughter was attacked in the middle of a track meet.
The 16-year-old was later diagnosed with a concussion.
Why did you do it, and why haven't you apologized yet?
You're physically hurt, but you're not thinking of my mental, right?
Y'all really picked the wrong child to criminalize like that.
All of this just because of a 9-second video.
No way in this world that was an accident. Want to just sit there and keep crying like she didn't hit her.
They're going off of one angle.
Then my head hit the wall.
I'm not a fighter. I'm not even confrontational.
She didn't even apologize, or it don't even look like she checked on the girl in the video.
And I haven't had a report. If she does have a skull fracture, what if that is that known?
Today's story includes 2 high school students, 1 race, a baton, and charges of assault and battery. All of this started back on March 4th at the Virginia State High School League Championships. On one side, you have Alila Everett, a senior runner who is out there doing her thing. And then on the other hand, you have Kaylin Tucker, who is trying her best to pass Alila, but hasn't been successful yet because they have been bumping each other back and forth. Both of them are running the second leg of the 4x200 meter relay when bam, Alila's baton smacks Kaylin Tucker in the back of the head. Like, this wasn't just a small smack. This wasn't just a small tap. A baton is super light, so it shouldn't really be injuring anyone. This was a full-on swing and a full-on contact.
The 16-year-old was later diagnosed with a concussion.
You can see in this angle of the video, Kaylin literally grabs her head, drops her baton, and ends the race at this moment. The video of this incident ended up going super viral. News outlets have interviewed these girls. I believe they interviewed them really quickly, within 24 to 48 hours of the race. Both of them have completely different perspectives on who was at fault. And Alila has since then been not only charged with assault and battery, but she has been disqualified, and I don't believe that her team is able to compete for the rest of the season. But let's talk about Kaylin's perspective first. Kaylin explained in a news interview with her mother by her side that while she was trying to go around Alila before the curve of the track, they kept bumping arms back and forth because it was such a close area. This is when she said that she decided to pass her after the turn.
I slowly started passing her, and then that's when she just hit me with the baton and I fell off the track.
In the same interview, they asked her mother how she felt about the situation and what she was seeing during this event. And the mother said that she literally was in shock, ran out of the bleachers to her daughter, and she then found Kaylin in hysterics. The mom also was shocked that after the incident, within 24 to 48 hours, she was expecting a phone call or some sort of apology or something for what happened, even if it was an accident like the other family is saying that it is.
Major thing, my child was hurt and nobody came to check on her.
No one came up to them and no one apologized or took accountability.
They kept running and she not stop and check on my daughter. That was the part where I was like, it couldn't have been an accident.
And spoiler alert, it's because Alila's family doesn't believe that their daughter did anything wrong. She definitely doesn't believe that she did anything wrong.
I wanted to help her, but in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, she initiated it.
Kaylin said that even 24 hours later, she still had a headache, which literally makes sense because she had a concussion, and doctors were waiting for the swelling to go down before they did any sort of testing to see if she had a skull fracture or any other injuries. She also said that she was just really upset about all of this happening because it is her last year. It is her senior year of high school. So let's talk about Alila, the other girl in this situation, the other girl who has a lot to say, but nothing really to say at all.
You're physically hurt, but you're not thinking of my mental, right?
Alila and her family is saying, hold up, this was not done on purpose. They believe that the world isn't thinking about how their daughter is impacted in all of this. People are giving her death threats. People are making racist remarks, and they're saying a lot of things to her because they do believe that she was at fault.
And my daughter shouldn't wake up and see Gayle King talking trash about her and Good Morning America talking trash about her or something that's not true.
They don't understand how everyone else has come to this conclusion that their daughter did this on purpose. They are blaming the victim, Kaylin. Even though it was a simple accident, Kaylin was, according to them, running too close to their daughter while she was trying to pass.
I was literally hitting the baton like this. My baton got stuck behind her back like this, and it rolled up her back. She's just getting closer and closer to the point where her elbow, like her arm's really hitting my baton.
But even Kaylin was saying this in her interviews, that they were very close together and they were bumping each other, and she was trying to get around her, and she waited until this part of the race past the curve to get around their daughter.
I knew like when I got fully on the curve that I was just gonna have to push through and pass her. When I finally pushed through to get in front of her, that's when she hit me in the head with the baton.
And if you've ever watched one of these races, you can see how tightly packed and close the race is ran. So the lanes get very, very tight, and it's not like they have a ton of space to work with to begin with. Her father then even goes on to say that it's the fault of the officials because there wasn't enough officials during that day, that it could have called Tucker out for making contact with their daughter prior to the incident happening.
If someone was there to say, okay, incidental contact was made by the other runner to her, previous to her being accidentally hit.
The journalist who's interviewing them is saying, listen, we don't need an apology. We don't need you to say anything to her if you don't want to say anything to her. And the family is like, well, good, because we don't. They're literally just standing there like, can you believe what they're saying? Can you believe that they think our daughter did this?
Because the girl cut her off. She did the illegal move. So it wasn't an issue until social media made it an issue.
Okay.
I don't know if this is a situation where they feel like if they apologize publicly, they admit guilt, and they just don't want to do that. The investigation is still ongoing, but Alila was charged with assault and battery, and her team is disqualified for the rest of the season. Since the incident, the internet has really taken sides, with most people siding with Kaylin.
And she kept doing wrong by playing victim and only talking about herself. Like what if she was the one that got hit? Then what? You probably be just as upset as those other parents are, concerned about the safety of your daughter. But now you're just worried about her image and everyone blaming her. Now, I'm not saying it's okay for her to get like death threats and stuff like that. That's not okay. But at the end of the day, you have to be accountable and aware of the society that we are in.
That shit was not no accident. Like, she absolutely did that shit on purpose. You know how if you never run track before, then you don't know how. But batons are so lightweight, like they're featherweight. So the amount of force you gotta put behind that to give somebody a concussion and a fractured skull, like I literally cannot wrap my head around how hard she threw that bitch. Like, and then I heard she didn't even apologize, or it don't even look like she checked on the girl in the video. Like, track coaches preach about your form all the time. Never, ever, ever should your arm have ever even been that far back behind your damn head if it was an accident. Like, how did your arm even get back there?
Oh yeah, sue her ass. Sue her ass.
On Alila's side, though, she does continue to claim that she is innocent up until the day that this video is published. She hasn't offered, as I've mentioned several times, an apology publicly yet, but she says that this is because Kaylin has blocked her on social media, which I find just a poor excuse, a really poor excuse, because you were literally having press conferences thanking your supporters.
People that know I would never do anything like that. I would never harm anybody. I'm not a fighter. I'm not even confrontation. I wouldn't even do that on purpose. And
you're making all these statements publicly. You can't just say 3 words to the girl. You can't just say, I'm so sorry. That is 3 words. Yeah. The Portsmouth NAACP is stepping into the situation, saying that these charges are totally unfair and shouldn't even be a thing.
We don't think that the legal system is warranted in this situation.
They claim that the charges are unwarranted. They shouldn't happen. It seems like their positioning is more along the lines of there needs to be an investigation that should be had before these charges end up ruining this girl's life.
She was adjudged guilty before she had a chance to prove her innocence. We believe that our youth should have every opportunity to flourish, to move beyond their circumstances, to go to higher education and have a good life.
But honestly, I don't really know why the NAACP is involved in this. I feel like the courts could just handle it. Maybe it's an extra level of eyes or an extra set of eyes and resources. I don't know why they chose one girl over the other to support, but I would also ask them, where's the bar? Like, where's the bar with accountability? She is a kid, yes, but she needs to be held accountable if they do an investigation and they find that she is guilty. So their involvement is just very weird to me. In an interview, Alila did say while she was crying that the public is basing their decisions off of one angle. Several angles have been released ever since then, and she probably should have never said anything like this, because every other angle that we see clearly shows the force and velocity of the strike, and it doesn't show the baton, as she said, getting stuck in Kaylin's shirt and then her swinging and trying to catch her balance and hitting her. So she fucked up with saying that. She seems to be a decorated athlete. She has been playing sports for, it seems like, a really long time. She knows the sport. It seems like she's had a lot of passion for it, especially if she allegedly hit this girl in the head and caused her to have a concussion. That's a crazy amount of passion. She hasn't had an incident like this that happened before. People make snap judgment decisions every single day. I know I did at her age. I was doing some crazy shit, and I would sit back and think, why didn't I think before that? Like, I was just doing things just to do them. So I could only imagine the sports aspect of it, the competition, competitiveness, all of that. Even if this was not an accident, I don't believe it was an accident. I'm just going to come out and say it. I don't believe it was an accident. I don't believe that this is something that happened because the baton got caught on the other girl's shirt. I don't believe that at all. But let's say it is, okay? These are girls who are they're almost women. They're literally starting their lives. They're going to go to colleges. They're going to start families soon, hopefully, maybe, I don't know their lives, but they're just about to start their life. And I can't imagine having this sort of hanging over you and also trying to finish your last year of school. Back when I was a senior, the worst thing that could happen to me was I got my laptop taken away, and when that would happen, the world ended. My world was crumbling. So my condolences to both girls involved going through this at a very young age. So yeah, so that's the story. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think it was an accident? Do you think it was on purpose? What do you think the consequences should be if it was done on purpose? Let me know your thoughts. And let me know if there are any other videos on any other topics that you want me to talk about, do any sort of deep dives on. I'm completely open to whatever anyone says. So drop down in the comments below and let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe on the way out, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.